That's not Lilibet, bizarre detail of hired baby being carried by Harry in latest appearance. In Scotland, on the day of King Charles's coronation, Harry showed up again and he gave us the latest images of his new life of freedom in Montecito. But this appearance seems to be giving us more bizarre clues than ever. It is pretty interesting how photos of them show up whenever a royal family event is going on, but at the same time, they despise the royal family and they want absolutely nothing to do with them. So first, let's talk about the fact that these photos were released on exactly the same day as the King's big day. Now, apparently Harry wasn't invited, and it must have really bothered him so much as he tried to overshadow the King. I mean, seriously, could he be any more of a jerk? I find it pretty bizarre, though, that whenever we discuss the two of them, the Sugars are always going to speak out and say, leave them alone. But at the same time, these two never leave the British royal family alone when it comes to their important days. Instead, they always have to come out with some stupid photo to try to distract everybody from the royal family. They are so pathetic. Their lives are just so sad and so bitter. And then after that gorgeous photo came out of Prince William and Charlotte standing on the balcony, Meghan Markle told Harry that he needed to release a photo as soon as possible. The child's hair even looks like he did it, very predictable and so unimaginative. And now Meghan and Harry are hiring a look-alike Harry and a child model or actor probably. I guess Meghan and Harry couldn't afford to hire a little boy actor for Archie. And also, another question I have is where is all the security that Harry claims they need? I mean, no wonder they've been hidden away. That side profile looks like Archie with straight hair. Designer baby clearly gone wrong. Doesn't that child look a bit too big for her age anyway? Meghan claims to be this modern woman, and the truth is her daughter did not need to be wearing tights or socks with those shoes. I would just love to know if Meghan dressed her daughter wearing socks with her shoes with all the heat in California. That poor little thing was probably burning up. And let's remember what that argument between her and Catherine was all about. It all had to do with whether or not little Princess Charlotte was going to be wearing tights with her shoes. Now, maybe the blisters on the back of her heels would help Meghan understand why Catherine thought it was a ridiculous idea for the flower girls not to have tights on for the wedding. I do wonder how you could attend a really exciting parade with a child and not be smiling. Hats and sunglasses for the grown-ups and the July Montecito heat, but not for that little baby. I hope that she at least had some sunscreen on. I mean, the sun in California is incredibly strong. And where was the other child? I mean, he's a bit older. He probably would have enjoyed watching the parade with his father. But clearly, it's not that simple. Only dolls need to be wearing socks. Haven't you heard that? Now, people used to care. People used to wonder what the children looked like, but that was a long time ago. And that was the truth that another fake baby was being rented out for Harry to hold on to. The image of the baby not being attached to Harry makes us feel very suspicious. And what about the way that Harry's not even looking at his supposed daughter, or looking at the way in front to make sure that they can walk safely there? Instead, Harry's checking out all the cameras to make sure they're getting their shot. Again, what a pathetic attempt to steal the limelight from his father. He knows he's got to use those kids to try and change the narrative. And the child in that photo looks completely different from the other photo that we saw supposedly for her first birthday. And the timing is very suspicious. They can put out photos of the kids all they want. Until I see some real DNA results, I'm never going to believe they're really theirs. Instead, what I immediately think when I look at that photo is this is just another scheme of theirs to try to steal the spotlight. And I do wonder whose child they chose to use this time. There is no evidence whatsoever that Charles actually got to meet and visit an archofficial last year. He was very busy with the Platinum Jubilee celebrations, and he was also taking care of his mother. So Harry and Meghan and the kids didn't even stay until the end of the celebrations. Instead, they ran away from the UK by lunchtime on Sunday. So this could easily mean that, in fact, Charles never met Lilibet. And the last time archofficial was in England, well, he wasn't even 5 months old yet. Now, these kids, if they are real, do not have a clue about who their grandfather is. Maybe now that Meghan and Harry's value has sunk to an all-time low, they have decided to switch gears and they're trying to trot out the children for attention and to try to rebrand themselves. Now, these are backgrid photos, so they were bought and paid for by Harry and Meghan and or their PR people. It's really the same thing. I guess it's a nice touch to make them grainy so it seems like they're candid shots from the public. At least the child got out of the house for some air, again if it really is their child. And of course, they made sure that she was wearing red shoes to show that she was a royal, and they released the photos on King Charles's big day so that they could get more attention for themselves. I do remember a rumor. Now, it's just a rumor, but anyway, I heard a rumor that Harry and Meghan wanted Harry to have the Prince of Scotland, Lord of the Isles titles when the time came, and William became the Prince of Wales. Now, if that's the case, this is pretty interesting timing. The only thing I can really think of right now is what about those poor children? They're about to be used for publicity purposes like nothing we've ever seen before. Obviously, Meghan and Harry are becoming increasingly desperate, and it's disgusting for them to use their children for paparazzi shots. I do wonder if Harry got sick of Meghan's control and he managed to escape with Lilibet. I can just hear her asking her father, "Oh, what are all those things?" "Oh, Lilibet, those are called peasants." "Oh, Daddy, what is that big thing in the sky?" "Oh, little darling, that's called the sun. Now, please, it's time to smile for the cameras." In other news, it looks like Meghan cannot stop messing with her face. I mean, how many nose jobs has that woman had? She's had so many fillers and Botox too, her face just looks puffy and weird. Now, if she had a daughter, that child would look a lot more like Doria than the present version of Meghan. And this child that Harry is holding looks a lot older than 25 months. Now, that is what she's supposed to be. She's got longer limbs and she doesn't have any baby fat. Another problem is, why were the four of them not out there celebrating together? If I were a betting woman, then I would put my money on the idea that Meghan sent him out to make a point. Independence Day and Royal Coronation 2.0. And Harry is wearing all the colors of the US flag. Well, he's all on his own. He has completely alienated himself from his friends and family. He really has lost everything, hasn't he? I mean, he would have loved the crowds at the coronation. He would have loved the crowds at the Trooping the Color celebration. Even the Rugby World Cup in Paris, he's going to have to watch on TV because he doesn't have any connection to the rugby code at this point. His life must be so sad and pathetic and lonely. Now, he enjoyed going on royal tours and getting to meet people, especially children. But of course, Meghan did not want to do any real work, so she quickly put a stop to that. I will never understand how Harry could so quickly change his opinion about his family and friends. Now, somebody had to have been working overtime to make sure the weakness they knew about him could be manipulated. But I'm sure there is trouble in that relationship. And what in the world is Harry going to do when they finally break up? Honestly, I don't even think there's any way this situation could be any messier. Their immature behavior is also becoming incredibly dull. Do they really think all these little exposures are going to overshadow royal events? I mean, the truth is, they're just not that important. And where was Archofficial? Why didn't he get to watch the parade with Daddy? Or how about it being a family outing like a normal family would do? I personally was not shocked when I discovered that Harry and Meghan wanted the king to just make up titles for them to somehow be equal to William and Catherine. Now, those are ancient titles, and they're associated with and only with being the Prince of Wales. I mean, we would have assumed that Harry would know better, but now it seems like he wasn't paying much attention while he was growing up. It's important to note also that Harry stopped being the spare the moment that George was born, and little Charlotte and Louis have pushed Harry even further down the line of succession. Princess Anne was once the spare, and now she comes in at 17th. Somehow, though, she did not allow that burden to mess up her life. Instead, she not only survived, but she has really been thriving. And you, what do you think about this child? Please let me know below in the comment section, and we can also discuss her and Harry and Meghan. And please remember to like and share my video with anybody else who would enjoy it if you preferred it this evening. And don't be afraid to click the subscribe button to get more updates in the future. Thank you so much for tuning in, have a lovely weekend, and we'll be back to see you all tomorrow.